Save game review. Hi everyone and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be reviewing some more of your save games. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, I have some really nice ones for you, 2 instead of 3 like usual, because I wanted to focus on quality over quantity. And man, when I read these save games descriptions, I literally couldn't believe it, so I had to show you guys. First off, we have an Italy by 1500 save game over here, which is pretty much to conquer the entirety of Italy all by 1500, which is of course very difficult in and of itself. We'll see how this player got along with that. It is exactly January 1st 1500, but then we have a pacifist world conquest by this player where he started as the Ottomans, formed some nation over here because it doesn't have an endgame tag restriction or anything like that, and then conquered the entire world without actually declaring any wars himself. So yeah man, those are some pretty wild save games we have for today. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this first one right here and let's see what this player had to say about this game. So Mark Wake right here says, my Venice Iron Man run to conquer all of Italy before 1500. My intention was to set the best Italy 1500 start to form the Roman Empire. No loans, no coalition, no aggressive expansion. Byzantium, Opium provinces in Avignon, Valencia, and Catalonia as vassals. Because my real goal was to conquer Italy the fastest possible, I decided for minimal expansion outside of Italy, so no early Ottoman wars or African expansion. Okay man, I'm already impressed with just that right there. You know, I think we all know how difficult it is to conquer all of Italy, let alone by 1500 as any nation. Saluzzo maybe would be the best with the aggressive expansion stuff, but Venice already owns the most provinces after Naples. So yeah, let's see how Mark Wake right here got along, and let's jump in. Alright, here we are in our little Venice, Italy by 1500 save game, and right off the bat, man, I can tell this player does own all of Italy by exactly January 1st, 1500. Now, since we're in this map mode, man, yeah, this aggressive expansion is actually crazy to me. Like, how is it so low with these guys, man? I'm guessing France is kind of mad because, you know, the player did some stuff over here, and then some of these guys are mad because of, maybe some expansion over here from Byzantium and stuff like that, but like no one over here is mad at all, man. Not even Switzerland. They actually have, you know, pretty good relations. They're actually allied to both Switzerland and Austria. Okay, we'll jump into the nit and grit right here, but let's take a look at the standard stuff first, and then we'll try and realize how this actually happened. So going over in the great powers list, man, already the #1 great power in the world, more powerful than this France, who has expanded quite a lot in Iberia. Let's see. You know, Ming obviously isn't real here, boys. Nobody cares about Ming, but that's already excellent right there, man. Going over into the court tab, we have a Serene Doge Andrea something right here, a 163 guy. So since there's no re-election coming up, I'm guessing he went with that certain reform, whatever you call it. We'll get to see exactly what that is. But level 1, 2, and 3 advisors, of course, we can't expect anything too wild at this portion of the game. Even if you do control all of Italy, especially as Venice, you will be making a lot of money. But, you know, getting like expecting level 5 advisors here just isn't realistic. In the government tab, we are still a Serene Republic right here. We got some stuff activated, which is pretty good. Council authority is decent, I would say, as well. These are some unique Venice mechanics, as you all know. Going into the diplomacy tab, I'm pretty interested in this. So allied to Poland, Austria, and Switzerland. That's pretty good. You know, usually when you expand outside of Italy, you want to get one guy here and one guy here, but our player doesn't have anyone over here. I'm guessing they're gonna fight like France or Castile and Aragon pretty soon right here. And then of course Byzantium, Provence, let's see, Catalonia and Valencia are all subject, as we all know. Lots of juicy cores to reconquer for Biz right here. For Provence too, some expensive-ish provinces, and no need to even mention Catalonia and Valencia because they're pretty standard when playing in Italy and reconquering stuff from Aragon. So everything is great right there, and they're guaranteeing Austria. Interesting right there, but yeah, who knows what the goal is for that. In the economy tab, making very nice money, as we can see right here, 35 ducats in the positive, about equal from every category coming in right here, which is something you could expect by owning all of this at this point in the game. Going over into the trade department, already some goods produced right here due to the guilds being in charge. These are, of course, the factions that you have as certain merchant republics and stuff like that. They help you out at certain points for certain things, if you guys don't already know. And then going over into the tech department, we can see that we do have innovativeness and ahead of time in admin tech. So even with all of this, Conquest, man, still ahead of time in admin tech. That's very nice to see. Now I'm very interested in the ideas right here. No espionage. Wow. That's actually pretty crazy that there is no espionage influence. Okay, assuming for heavy subject gameplay later on, getting ready for that. And of course, offensive is a no-brainer right here. It simply makes your army more powerful in every single way. Going over into the missions, man, Venice does have a really good mission tree. Lots of missions up here have been completed, which is very nice to see. A lot of missions over here in this middle expansion branch that I like to call it is also really good, focusing on the army as well. And then in the lower branch right here, these are, you know, for not really colonization, but kind of expanding into different parts of the world. Obviously, they wouldn't have been touched by this point, and since this is like a Roman Empire playthrough, maybe we don't even expect to see them being touched later on. In the decisions and policies right here, not a lot to see, honestly. In the stability expansion, under GovCap, which is very nice. Let me see, everything is stated, which is super nice right here. No trade companies just yet, although anything that's conquered over here, no need for it to be trade companied. When doing something like this, I would trade company Aleppo, Safi, and Tunis, and that's pretty much it, even though you could do lots of other things. In the religion department, we are Catholic, but as we can see, Orthodox provinces that are owned in the Balkans do not give us religious disunity, which of course, that means that this player has given out the burgher privilege, which makes these, Orthodox and Coptic provinces not give you any penalties, which is something I do recommend if you're playing a Catholic nation. You at least need to do it in the early game. Later on, if you're going with religious or something like that, you can definitely, cancel that and start converting these. Lots of active cardinals as well. In the military department, almost a 20 professionalism actually, which is really nice right here. No combat abilities for armies or boats, but that is expected because this player did go offensive. Huge force limit, by the way, and of course, very large naval force limit. I'm seeing some nice generals and some nice admirals right here. Morale is maybe a little bit lowish for this point in the game, but no big deal. Discipline is all right. Combat with is 24, and we can see some stacks standing around here. They seem to be, yeah, they're split. They're definitely split. So if you merge these two armies together, it's a perfect combat with even a little more cannons than you need. But of course, you do want a 12 in order for fast level 3 Fort Conquest. And some other stacks right here. We got 20 transports, some heavies repairing right here, galleys. This is like the battle fleet, I'm guessing. Lights protecting trade. And yeah, that's everything you would expect from a Venice, man. That's everything you can expect from Venice. And then finally going into the subject right here, or second to last, we can see that Byzantium is a bit angry. They've been recently released or conquered or something like that. Everyone else is chilling. And in the estates department, we're pretty close to 30% crownland and pretty good, privileges active right here. All 6 for the clergy and the nobles, and 5 for the burghers right here. Grand Orthodox autonomy is the one I was talking about regarding regarding Orthodox provinces. Now, I want to go into the papacy as well. Interesting, this player is not even the papal controller, man, which is surprising. You know, for runs like this, you want to get the minimal amount of aggressive expansion, right? So you want to become the curia controller. You want to get espionage, other, stuff. Pray that your rulers get the careful trait or whatever it was. And yeah, we are not in the HRE, obviously. Okay, so with all of that taken a look at, man, I want to go into the modifiers right here actually and take a look at the aggressive expansion reduction. So it's just minus 18%, man. Just regular stuff that you could get as any nation, yo. It's minus 10% from Justified Wars, the age ability, and then minus 8.7 prestige from the 87 prestige right here. So this is standard, man. No shenanigans or anything like that. Just good gameplay, man. Just good gameplay. I don't know. This is pretty difficult, man. I think you guys gotta admit that this is pretty impressive with just regular aggressive expansion reduction modifiers. Now, yeah, good job on that. Going over into the autonomy, it has been lowered pretty much everywhere except for Trent. I'm guessing that's the last thing that has been conquered, and it's pretty low everywhere else. This player has been focusing on the economy as well, so I'm interested in taking a look at the buildings. So marketplaces built up in a lot of the relevant provinces, not in all of them, of course. Going over into the courthouse, built in a lot of provinces as well, but still under GovCap, so this player is in no rush, of course. Just a couple of one navy building right there, one army building built in Venice, of course, a bunch of churches everywhere, and a bunch of workshops everywhere, so that's very nice. No manufactories, of course, just yet. So for the date that we're at, the buildings I can say I'm pretty satisfied with. Going over in the development department, yeah, everything is pretty standard right here. Of course, Venice has been developed a bit, but you wouldn't expect to get, you know, any development for anything else right here. So that is not the main focus. So yeah, man, really strong campaign. Venetian is the only, you know, accepted, you know, the primary culture. What you call it here, Greek and Dalmatian have been promoted. Rome has been converted to Venetian, and of course these don't give you any penalties, but they're not accepted yet because this player isn't an empire yet, but it is getting you know, pretty close to that. So yeah, man, really strong campaign right here. I'm still surprised about the lack of aggressive expansion. I guess we're gonna take a look at that in the timeline, maybe how this expansion went. You know, I'm assuming there was lots of vassalizations, maybe diplo-vassalizations, reconquering cores, but it's still pretty tough when, you know, it's so early in the game where no one has disappeared, right? You can always, like, reconquer Naples' cores or something, but Naples was probably whole, so yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. I think we've taken a look at everything we can take a look at. This is Venice proper. This is it with the subjects and the allies and everything like that. Austria has Bohemia. Poland has Lithuania, Moldavia, and Hungary. This is a very strong Poland. They might be one of the last nations this player wants to fight if they want to challenge at the end or something like that. So, yeah, very cool, man. Finally, let's go over into the government reforms. Venetian government, republicanism, consolidate power in the Doge for the gov cap, and no elections. That's why, you know, these guys rule for life, of course. Curtail clerical privileges, interesting, I guess, for the admin tech discount. Then we have condottieri contracts, which is very interesting, but of course, when you're doing so many wars and stuff like that, you know, you wanna save as much manpower as you can by running as much mercenaries as you can. At least, you know, earlier. But right now, I would definitely recommend to swapping to something else. And of course, supremacy of the diet right here is only for the estate stuff and, you know, the influence stuff and admin divisions. Of course, as Venice, you do get through these very quickly. So yeah, man, tier 7 in 1500, that is pretty quick for a nation of this size. Okay, last thing I want to take a look at is the monuments right here, see if anything has been upgraded. So nope, we don't have that right there, nope, not that, not that. Interesting that Santa Maria del Fiore starts off at tier 2, so I'm guessing this player, someone conquered Florence, and then this player conquered Florence. And of course we have the Venetian Arsenal and Doge's Palace at tier 1, which is, yeah, expected. Everything else is unbuilt. All right. Finally, man, let's take a look at the timeline, see if we can, you know, notice the conquests and stuff like that, because if this player did expand through subjects, it is going to be a little bit tricky to see. I'm actually going to run it at this speed, so yeah, there we go, expansion. Actually, no, I'm not going to run it at that speed, bro. Let's close it and open it again. We're going to do it medium. So we have wars versus Biz and Epirus right here and Naples simultaneously. Yeah, rapid expansion as we just saw right there. Dismantling Mantua. Pope expanding here, Florence expanded, expansion over here. Milan might be a subject at this point, expanding a little bit. There we go, Ferrara has grown, Sardinia has popped out, maybe wars with these guys have been done. Naples has been released, so reconquering their course from the Pope and Aragon. Lots of shenanigans happening over here, expanding into Genoa. These guys right here are already done. Annexing maybe Milan, pushing further into these guys, reconquering course, taking Naples for himself. There we go, we even got Sicily right here. Venice is already here and here. Subjects still aren't being released as far as we can tell, leaving the middle guys for last. Of course, Tuscany is very highly developed. Some of these guys may be subjects at this point, we can't really tell. And yeah, it's going really very quickly, man. Only 6 years left. Some guys still exist. There go Ferrara and Florence, and Perugia, which may have been a subject, is gone. And there we go, man. Before you can blink, it's over. Yeah. Very good conquest, man. You know, expansion over here, pushing into Naples early, saving stuff to release it later. So lots of high-level gameplay right here, and I can definitely say that I did enjoy this campaign quite a lot. This is something I wanted to try myself for quite a while. I don't know if I would do it as Venice. I think it is the best pick. It is the strongest nation, but yeah, with all of these aggressive expansion modifiers, or without all of them, I think I just crash and burn. So yeah, that has been Venice conquering all of Italy before 1500. Really strong campaign. I like the concept, and I like that it's done without aggressive expansion modifiers, or at least without the regular ones. So I'm giving this campaign a 5 out of 5. Let's move on with the next one, the Pacifist World Conquest. Alright, so this is our second save game of the day, Pacifist World Conquest by some Arthling, now as the Holy Roman Empire on June 1st, 1779, and let's see what this player had to say. So, the first ever Pacifist World Conquest in U4 that I know of. It really could be it. It really could be it. Ottomans to VT. Formation doesn't check for endgame tag due to oversight, probably, to be able to ally Ottoman historic rivals, which and then to the HRE. So only 2 nation flips, man. Did the Orthodox flip at the start, released Aydin around 1480 to conquer Constantinople for me. Never had everyone except Christian majors, HRE Emperor and Electors, Pope Venice, Songhai Bengal Mamluks by 1630. Everyone except those guys, dude. Last 150 years were pretty much passing HRE reforms, fishing for personal unions, and slowly threatening Songhai, Bengal, and Mamluks. Yes, threaten war, by the way. It is allowed in these types of scenarios, pacifist world conquests or whatever. At least that's what the community thinks. Got Pope and Venice by releasing strong vassals next to them who conquered them right before I passed Renovate Empire. Used only vassalize, threaten war, return cores, charter province, and established trade protectorate. I didn't want to use this, but got frustrated in the end. Had taken expansion to narrow down the distance modifier to many areas, but junked it for humanist later for improved relations. Man, pacifist world conquest, yo, without declaring, without actually clicking the declare war button. It's very interesting, so let's jump right in. Alright, so here we are in our pacifist world conquest, man, and the frame rate is already super bad. It's actually like really slow, zooming in and out. Now, of course, the first thing we gotta check to know if this is an actual world conquest is open up the great powers list right here. If the HRE is the only nation on there, then this is a world conquest, and everyone else, of course, is subjects, right? And there is the great powers list, and that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The HRE is the only nation left in the world with 47,720 development. Of course, starting as the Ottomans, then forming VT, which I think is some of these guys right here, and then of course forming the HRE by passing various reforms. I don't even know where to start right here, man. First, actually, I'm gonna go into the coalition map mode and see everything that is owned directly by the HRE. So this is it right here, man. Almost all of Europe, provinces in Greenland, some provinces in Africa, maybe charter companies right here, India, Arabia over here. We got some stuff down here. This is of course all colonized, and then everything else is subjects, man. Very, very nice right there. Even uncolonized provinces are still alive, but that's okay. So with all that said, let's start jumping in and seeing what we have right here. Dude, I clicked on that and the game is freaking frozen. I think it might even crash right here. It's not letting me open up the government tab. I right clicked. Look at how long that took, dude. And look, it's still stuck right here. This is all because of the subjects, by the way. This is all because there's so much of this right here now. You're gonna have to bear with me right here, man, as we flip through some of these. There we go. I tried clicking on that right there. I'm actually going to wait and see if it does go over. But everywhere where we can see the subject is going to be laggy. Okay, we're good. So we got Kaiser Wilhelm I Frederick de Luxembourg. How we got that guy, I have no idea. Level 5 and level 1 and level 5 advisors right here. I'm guessing he needed this guy for the Diplorap, but he can't promote him because he's not one of the accepted cultures. Okay, I'm going to go into the government tab right now. We are the Kaiserreich, so these are all... We're actually primary Dutch culture right now. Very interesting. I am going to pop into the cultures later, and of course every single culture in the world is going to be present right here. Now I'm actually going to skip this tab right here, man, because you just saw what happened, going straight into the economy, making 4.8 ducats a month. And by the way, boys, I know this is a sort of playthrough that normally would make more sense for someone to explain it when they've played it, or for us to take a look at a video, but this ain't this type of, this ain't that type of series, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, making very nice income from subjects, some income from gold as well. Trade is very nice right here. Tariffs too, spoils of war from Genoa and Ragusa. I'm guessing maybe pirating over there or something like that. And yeah, very high fort maintenance, huge armies, as we can see. No missionary maintenance or anything like that. So this has not been, as we can see, a conversion world conquest. Just some stuff right here that were of course important. But going over into the trade department, 155. Oop, I just flipped my mouse right there. 155% goods produced with furnaces established literally everywhere. Now, interesting, we can see the subjects right here too, dude. But it's not lagging as bad. Going over into the trade department right here, tech 29 in every category. And this is pretty early, man. 17 79, that's pretty good. You still got about 41 more years of gameplay right here, so good job on that. Ahead of time in every single tech. Now, taking a look at the ideas, I'm very interested in this. So, espionage. Started off with espionage. I'm guessing because of the, where is it right here? The vassalization acceptance thingy? Yeah, there it is. Plus 15% and the favors stuff. Obviously, you need, yeah, the diplomats, the advisor discounts are very useful in this type of scenario. Transfer subject is also pretty useful when fighting guys. Influence, of course, once again for the subject. Infrastructure is pretty good. Diplo right here, almost no mill idea groups. We got just offensive and defensive right here. So offensive after that, when you finally get to some of the end guys that you threaten war on and stuff like that. Starting wars in your colonies. Of course, all of this counts. None of it is direct declaration. Humanist, defensive, and naval right here. So yeah, very interesting idea group picks. Of course, a lot of these aren't standard at all when you do a regular world conquest. Even when you do like a subject-focused world conquest as Austria to the HRE or something like that. But yeah, really good picks right here. In the missions department, not a lot to take a look at right here in the HRE mission tree. It's not that big. Anything that you can complete has been completed, as we can see. And once again, all of the subjects are down here. Why did it lag so bad? Dare I go back to diplomacy? I shouldn't have done that. It's more than obvious by now that I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, extremely laggy right here, man. Nothing I can do. So I'm just going to go back to the decisions and policies right here as soon as I can. And I think opening up the subjects tab or maybe the dev or buildings tab is going to give me this same result right here. All right, I clicked on it about 5 minutes ago. There we are. Okay, so yeah, taking a look at the policies right here. Those are the expected ones for the idea groups that this player has picked. A lot of other ones you can get to, but listen, it's a world conquest. How much can we pick apart right here, man? Pretty much everything that has been done has obviously been successful because the world conquest is successful. Now, still under GovCap 2, which is pretty expected. The nation itself right here, the HRE, isn't that large. A lot of subjects everywhere. A lot of rebels popping in half pop, but a lot of these are in subject, so this player wouldn't really care about that. Going over into the religion department, we are Catholic, more than 100% religious unity. Stuff can be converted, but there's no need. The world conquest is done. We'll see if there are any, you know, stuff active right here, so stuff doesn't give you, you know, religious disunity. Going over into the military department, almost full professionalism, no army modifiers expected. There weren't any army idea groups. You know, we got oak forest ships for heavy ship combat and galley combat ability. Absolutely insane force limit of almost 1 million, but you don't really need to do that because you're not fighting wars, right? You don't care about how large your army is, or at least you're not fighting that many wars. Some wars may have been done, but of course none of them have been direct declarations. Massive naval force limit as well. A lot of boats, obviously. Decent discipline, really good morale, of course, and everything is looking pretty sweet right here for what it is. Now, let's take a look at the subjects department. Will we be lagging? We're not, and all of these guys are set to passive, man. Yeah, you don't really want them getting involved. Now, I'm actually going to sort by subject type over here. So all of these guys right here are trade protectorates. I'm assuming that's all the guys that we can actually see their color are trade protectorates. Then we got some core ALETs right here, which I'm guessing would be all of the other guys, as we can see as we're scrolling down. All of these other guys that are basically colored the Ottomans color are still, you know, core ALETs right here. Scrolling further down just to see if there's any other type of subject. Of course, there will be, you know, colonial nations, but I'm interested in seeing, you know, maybe, yeah, there we go. So we do have, yeah, all of these colonial nations right here. Then we got revolutionary Italy as a client state. Russia is a junior partner, and we do have 3 regular vassals: Venice, the Timurids, and Zulu. And then, of course, we do have trade companies right here, as we can see, for stuff outside of Europe. And in the estate setup, we have 77% crown land and still some privileges granted to the clergy and burghers. Nobles don't exist due to various, you know, things that have been going on. And that's really how you want to do it, man. In a conquest where you don't take that much land for yourself, as we can see, 120 max absolutism, but only 17 actual absolutism. You know, everyone always goes on and on. Absolutism is so good. Yes, if you're blobbing out massively yourself. As we can see, world conquests can be done without any absolutism or without even fighting any wars. So yeah, super satisfied with everything I've seen right there. Now, let's try and analyze a little bit right here, the cultures. I just want to take a look at this briefly. Nothing really matters. So yeah, we can see the promoted and accepted ones. Pretty standard right there. Taking a look at the states right here, some stuff stated, some stuff unstated, and then, you know, what you call it, some stuff trade companied as well. That's how we do end up being under GovCap. So much possible Marines too, which is weird. Now going into the autonomy, not a lot to take a look at right here. Buildings doesn't really matter that much, but you know, let's just take a look at them. So this is everywhere these are present, this is everywhere these are present, this is everywhere these are present. So these this player has been updating the stuff in the subjects and in the stuff that you know, this player directly owns, so that's really good. As we can see, this is where the courthouses have been placed, this is where they've been upgraded to town halls, once again in the core of the nation. This is the workshops pretty much all around the world. Most important counting houses too, they have been upgraded. These are the cathedrals right here. Some army buildings here and there, not a lot. Let me take a look at universities, once again present in the core of the country. Manufactories almost everywhere, and then of course furnaces in the relevant provinces. All you do have a couple of more in yourself and in you know, your subjects as well. But of course, none of these things are that relevant for what we're taking a look at. In the papacy right here, we're also the Curia controller, super strong. With so few Catholic nations left, it's very easy for you to become the Curia controller. We got the revolution right here, but this player is not revolutionary, and there we go, that's a little more lag right there. Going over into the Reichstag, we got the parliament as well, not really too relevant, not a lot of seats as we can see. And yeah, the Empire of China, or not the Emperor of China, but yeah, it's really no big deal. All right, there you have it, man. That's been that right there. Now let's take a look at the government reforms. We should be, yes, a holy imperial monarchy right here. Very strong tier 1 government reform. Compromise with the nobles, representatives, lands for the church, military engineering, parliamentarianism, of course, there it is. Admin clergy, thalassocracy, a rare one that you can get when you blob out quite a lot. It is actually pretty powerful. Machiavellian reign, even more aggressive expansion here, and a stab hit to declare war. So really staying true to that cause of not declaring any wars and being a true pacifist world conquest. Then we got regional representation and legislative houses. All of these are pretty good right here. So yeah, man, apparently that's how you do a pacifist world conquest. I don't know what else we could take a look at right here. Look at all of these merchants just sitting around doing nothing. All of these armies sitting around doing nothing. So many things we analyze in like regular campaigns. They don't matter at all in a campaign such as this. Just showing off the amount of troops and the amount of fleets, of course, romantic subjects and whatnot, and whatever they're doing. So this was a real chill, sit back and relax and do pretty much nothing type of campaign. Now, I am going to open up the timeline right here. I don't know how much we're going to be able to see. Probably not a lot, because there has been so few conquests by the player itself. And then, you know, we have these nation formations that sort of, you know, change the map. But maybe these guys will turn the Ottoman color so we can see what this player, you know, who they're aeletting and stuff like that. But yeah, there's the timeline, man, starting off as the Ottomans, so not a lot of happening right here. Yeah, as you can see with the Orthodox exploit, all of these guys are like instantly being aeletted right here. Look how far this player is reaching in, man, dismantling various nations, vassalizing. So everyone that you see in the Ottoman color is a subject by now. Look, we're even over here, dude. We're even in China so early. So this, like this player said, man, by 1630, only major Christian guys, Songhai, Bengal, and the Mamluks were left. Look, everything is already being done right here, being colonized and stuff like that. We can't tell. There we go. Now we're VT, so a pretty late formation on VT, 1600. This is so, you know, you can get around the endgame tags right here, releasing various nations just so that can be done. And yeah, now just working on eating up some of these guys right here to threatening war. There's the HRE formation, and there are just a couple of more nations left to wrap up. And there we go, there goes the Commonwealth, and that has been the end. So yeah, actually timeline wasn't that bad, man. We can definitely see the Orthodox, the Sunni to Orthodox, the Sunni to Orthodox, the Sunni flips, where all of these guys get aeletted. That's a little exploit if you guys don't know, where if you flip to Orthodox as the Ottomans, then flip back to Sunni, all of the Sunni guys, or, you know, in general, Muslim guys get a lot of opinion with you. Then you aelet some guys, and you get closer to other guys, flip a couple of more times so the other guys get more opinion with you, and then you can just pretty much aelet any minor nation located in this region like super fast, man. Super fast. That's is it an exploit? Yeah, it's not a bug, so what do you want me to say? But I think it's completely valid. And yeah, that formation of VT was just a weird thing to do. Apparently the only nation that can be formed with endgame tags. That's not a tag like this, like the HRE or the Roman Empire or something like that. And then of course the Roman Empire passing reforms, vassalizing all of these guys, and clicking you know, Renovato Imperii as well. As we can see, the HRE no longer exists because, you know, as an entity, as a state, it does. So yeah, this might be the first pacifist world conquest in the history of U4. I am gonna believe it at face value. Of course, something like this, you guys would say maybe needs to be verified through video or I don't know, through a save file if it can be done like that, or a VOD of the entire playthrough. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and believe it, man. You know, no reason to lie right here. It's not like this guy is out for glory. he's just out for it for the love of the game. And for that, man, for this awesome type of playthrough and me having the honor to review it, if in fact it is the first Pacifist World Conquest, I'm gonna give this campaign, just like the last one, a 5 out of 5. And that has been our final save game of the day. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 very, very good save games for today after, you know, we haven't done this series for a couple of weeks. And as always, man, if you guys want your save games reviewed, make sure to drop them in the Save Games for Vid channel in my Discord. Link will be in the description, and you will have a chance of getting your save games reviewed. Even more if it's something unique or very skillful like the 2 we just took a look at today. But I think for this video, that's been about that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them. And you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.